Hi, welcome to Matilda's fantastic cookbook software, published by the Cookbook people. I'm going to show you how this software operates. It's pretty simple. There are only 3 tabs: Recipes, People, and Printing. The first tab is Recipes, and that's where the magic happens. That's why you're probably thinking of buying this software, is to type in all of your recipes. You type in the recipe's name here. You can choose a recipe author here. Anybody you've got loaded in, or you can make up somebody new if you want. Say Oprah came up with this particular recipe. You can type that in really easily. You can select which types you want, breads, cookies, or whatever, and that'll help you organize the cookbook later on. And if you want to, you can add and delete your own types if you'd like. So you can customize it to how you like it. Here's where you add in a photograph. It's just as simple as loading in the photo. And then cheesecake. That's the photo right there. Next, you've got the actual recipe itself, and in here you just type in the box as much as you want. Just keep going. It's just like writing an email. It's that simple. We don't have a lot of drop-down fields because that's just too clunky. We want to keep it nice and simple. However, if you have a problem where you want to bake at 450 degrees, bake at, well, if you don't know how to do the degree symbol, you can always go down here to our little recipe builder, and you could say 450 degrees, bake at 450 degrees, and there it is. You've got all these other ones here. You can just point and click your way through typing in a recipe if you'd like. And it does the traditional symbols of the Spanish E and a quarter, a half, the quarter, half, and three-quarter symbols, and a lot of other symbols. So you can type all those in just by clicking in the buttons there. So let's hide that now. That's really all there is to the actual data entry of typing in your recipes. You also have a converter here, which you can easily convert, say, 4 cups into, say you've got 4 cups of water and you want to know how many gallons that is. That's going to wind up being, or how many quarts. Let's go gallons. That winds up being a quarter of a gallon. So it's just an easy way to do conversions. And also, if you happen to have a recipe that you want to triple the size of or make a third the size of. So we'll say we want to triple the size. I'm going to triple it and say it's got 2, and you don't even have to use this if you don't want to, but say it's got 2 teaspoons of let me see, I don't even know how to pronounce some of these. 2 teaspoons of capers. You can easily convert it, and there it goes to 6 teaspoons. But if you wanted to, say, cut it into thirds, so you go 0.3 and convert it, there it converts it to 6/10 of a teaspoon. And you can easily hit a button there just to add the results to the current recipe you're working on. So that's all there is to it. If you want to print a single recipe, you can hit the Print This Recipe button. And if you want to email a recipe, you can email this recipe. At the Print This Recipe button, we've got another little feature that talks a lot about how to print recipe cards. And you might want to check that little video out if you're really curious about this feature, because we've got a ton of options for making your recipe cards look nice. But that's not the focus of this particular overall demo. Okay, so the next step is the people. And people ask, why do you want people in your cookbook? Well, somebody's got to eat the stuff you're making, and somebody's also probably helping you to write the cookbook that you've created. So this is a way to document people. You can put in a family tree in here, talking about how that person is related to you and what they do in the cookbook. It brings in people who may not like to cook, but may like to see their photograph in a family document. It also captures people's birthdays, the phone numbers, the email addresses, city, state, zip, and a photograph. And you can use all this stuff in a few minutes. Our software nicely organizes it. And if you need to find a particular name, you just go there, and there it is. So it's very simple to browse around in. Adding a new person, as simple as hitting that. Deleting a person is as simple as hitting the delete button. And by checking that this person has recipes, they'll pop up in the other screen right here in a little drop-down list. So if somebody doesn't cook, you don't have to have them on that list. Okay, and now comes the fun part, the part that you really worked hard for, and that's the printing part, and that's where the software really shines. What this software does is it prints a front cover, a table of contents, a recipe section, a biography section, a birthday calendar, an address book, and a back cover. You don't have to use all those features if you don't want to. You can pick and choose. Some people just want the recipe. Some people want to do the full book. But I'll show you how each of these little sections work. I think once you start playing with it, I think you're going to find that it's you probably will use more than you think you will. So for the front cover, let's just go to the edit screen. And here we've already got one that's called Grandma Special Recipes. This was a commemorative recipe book to a fine lady who's passed on. And we've added a custom top banner and a custom bottom banner. if you want to. You don't have to use the custom ones though, but you can load in your own photographs if you want for the front cover. So I'm just going to hit done now. And here's a preview of how the actual cookbook will look for the front cover. You can see this is actually set up to have 2 sheets because they're half pages and we want to use the most of the paper. And if you're paying for the toner, for the ink to cover the page, you just slice it right down the middle in half and you have 2 cookbooks. And it makes it very easy for double-sided printing. You just do this as page 1 and page 2, and it's very simple for double-sided printing. If you take this to a print shop, your printer will love you, and you'll like it yourself. Okay, so the next section is the table of contents. And let's see, this is currently in the fruit template, so let's take a look at the fruit template. So you can see there's fruit in the background, and here's all the recipes organized alphabetically. It's got breads first, then cookies, then desserts, etc. So it's alphabetized first by the type and then by the actual recipe name. And you can change the template to whatever you want. If you want it to look like more patriotic, all of a sudden the same recipes are reshuffled and it's all patriotic, and you don't have to do any data entry. If you want to make the font size a little bigger, it goes up to 14-point type, which is a very big font type, so it's very easy to see if you don't have the best vision. And if you want to keep it small, you can always go to 6-point type, and this will cut down on the use of paper. So it's very small. And to print it, all you have to do is hit the print button. And then next section is recipes, and this is the heart of the software. So let's look at the storybook template for recipes. And there you go. It's 2-column format, which uses the space the most wisely, and you can see it includes your photograph, and you can print this in color and black and white. Let's see here. Let's look at another sample of, say, notebook. There's 27 templates, so I don't have time to show all of the templates here, but as you can see, there's quite a selection. The next is a biography section, and this is where you're going to do your little family tree if you want to. As you can see, that's kind of sharp looking, where you can add in it shows the photographs and the people's names and all that great stuff. Bump up the font size so you can see a little easier. There you go. Cute little kid. Let's see here. And next you've got the birthday calendar. And this is kind of a neat little idea that we came up with. Have you ever missed somebody's birthday because you didn't remember it was in May? Well, now you've put all the May birthdays together, so you know exactly when people's birthdays are. And if you don't want to put actual dates, you can just go 9999. So if people are a little private about their dates. But that way you know in May you've got these dates to look forward to. This is the birthday calendar template, but you can use any of a number of other different templates. Let's see. So, do the London template. Very useful little feature. It saved my bacon more than once. Okay, the next feature is the address book, and here you can enter in a top and bottom banner if you want to do a custom banner, or you can just go with one of the preset ones like we'll say Fiesta. And this prints a little family album book, which turns your family cookbook not just into a cookbook, but it's useful for everybody. It's suddenly a yearbook. It's a phone book. It's just the family reference tool for keeping track of your family. I think a lot of people are going to use it, and all these different features will keep it from getting piled at the bottom of a shelf somewhere and actually get used all the time. And in the back, now you've got the back cover, and here you can say whatever you'd like. Thank you for all the help. You can do it a lot longer than that. You've got 1,800 characters, and there's a little character counter here to make sure you don't go over. Again, you can add in a custom banner, so if you want to make your own custom-looking cookbook, you can do that. But I don't have one loaded right now, so let's take a look at it with... let's see here. How about time? Well, the time is a little boring. That's the one that's designed to condense it down into the smallest amount of space. Let's look at it and say kosher's a nice one. Let's take a look at that. Oh, actually, that one's a pretty boring one, too. How about chopsticks? I like chopsticks. There you go. Okay, as you can see, it looks a little better with a little more text, but you get the idea. You can also export your recipes to all of your recipes, or you can email individual ones. You can download a free PDF creator, so if you want to make a little Acrobat file, we tell you how to do that. Suggest some designs for us, and you'll see these little question marks all over the place. They're little help features that if you don't know what something does or how to use something, just click on the little help and it shows you what to do. That's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. As you get to use it more, I think you're going to really enjoy it. We've loved putting it together for you, and thanks for checking us out. And I hope you enjoy your buying a copy of Matilda's Fantastic Cookbook Software, published by the Cookbook people.